So here we are on Independence Day. And Nancy shared a beautiful story about her grandson. What did he say when you asked him? I told my grandson when we say, Max, how old are you? He goes, I'm free. I said, yeah, we all want to be like that. Yeah. So instead of saying I'm three, he says I'm free. I really like that a lot. So I wanted to start out, well, the basic theme is looking deeper. And what does that mean? I think a lot about these things. And going deeper to me means getting out of the realm of just love and light. Because most spiritual seekers, that's what we want, to stay in the comfort zone. We want to be really in the love and light all the time. But the difficulty, and that's our true home, our true nature. So, of course, we want to be there. But here on earth, we are in a light dark opposite paradigm. And so our spirit took this on. Our soul took this on to come here and explore all that is possible in either direction. And Colleen and I at the beach this morning, we had a nice wisdom talk, and you shared with me that from Gangaji, the wisdom of Gangaji, who talks about that it is through exploring these things that we judge and feel horrible about, and all the failures and all this, the shadow, these painful things in our lives, that we are actually, by exploring them with presence and non-judgment, and throw the guilt out of the window, throw all of that judgment out the window. That's what we came to explore. And in my life, I now can take my shoes off so I'm a little bit closer to the mic. Now I am, because of all the things I struggled with, and there were some gnarly ones that I thought I wouldn't survive. I really wanted to get off earth. I could not handle this life here, but I made it through. And I am, because of it, I am a good counselor now for others. I can hold space, create a space of safety, open up, and allow everything to be explored through the heart, through presence. So we lose our fear of that which we are afraid of. And that's the key, that we stop resisting what is within us and what is in this life. You know, it is light, dark here. That's our experience. There is night and there is day, there is shadow, there is light, there's everything. So I am learning to dance with all of that. And in order to dance with it, I have to be willing to feel everything. And so there has been a shift in my life from where I used to be really afraid of the intensity of my own experience, of my own emotions. And that totally changed for me. I am just open. I am in this just celebration of life. I am feeling great. And then a whammy comes and I'm no longer afraid of it. You know, the whammy of life. Oh, let's explore that one. Let's see what gifts it has. So when we lose our fear of what life might bring us, or what might be future, I used to be afraid of future losses. You know, like I come from a wartime, I was growing up in Germany with parents that went through World War II. So for them, they lost everything. Their houses were bombed, they had no food to eat, they had they had nothing. So pretty bleak. And what was I going to say? I love the child's noises. It's really sweet. It's just I got so drawn into that, that moment and that sound, that I forget what I was going to say next. But that's okay. Yeah, World War II lost. And so I used to be afraid of that the future would be like the past of my ancestors. But that was a program running, and it took a lot of my life force to have that running. And so I did all kinds of work on it, all kinds of spiritual stuff, all kinds of trauma stuff. I dove into everything. I didn't leave one stone unturned, because I knew there was a way through this. There was a way to make peace with all of it, even that scary future that might happen. And I am the biggest testimony that it's possible, because I used to think it wasn't possible, at least not for me. And now I'm actually experiencing life very differently. And so all that looking deeper into what was there, all that scary stuff, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I would not trade any of the hard and painful experiences of my life, uh, not wanting them anymore. I didn't want them at the time, but I've come to a place where I'm really grateful for them because they have brought me to this, where there truly isn't any fear of the future. Whatever will happen on this planet, I now know without any doubts. And this is the thing, where we can really weed out the doubt, that I am here to be helpful. And life will take care of me. See, when a child grows up in a lot of trauma, we don't know that anything is there to take care of us. We don't know God. We don't know that the universe is on our side and has our back. We just struggle with that basic trust, basic trust and faith. Then we put on spiritual teachings on top of that wound and we try to have faith, but we still underneath don't. That's where we need to look, where we're lacking. And we need to get helpless like little kids and say, universe, please help me. I don't have any faith. I don't know how to trust you. I don't know how to do this. Please help me. That's when help comes. And it comes in the most unexpected ways. When you become completely authentic and honest with yourself and life. And you can call it whatever, divine, you can call it source, you can call it your higher self, whatever. It's just about being so honest where you're at, wherever that is. We are here just learning. We're just children learning in a wild world. And on another level, we are infinite, amazing spirit. We're that too. But here in form, it's all about exploring and making messes in the sandbox. you know, and boy, did I make plenty of messes. But life has been so forgiving, and there is so much grace. When I released all these fears and worries and troubles, it was a gradual process. But when that got released by grace, life changed. So I know I'm here to be helpful. And I know life has my back. Life is taking care of me more beautifully than I could have ever taken care of myself, ever. And that is the truth. I cannot believe how beautiful this life has become. I just can't. I just like every day I'm astounded. Like, what? You've got to be kidding. I mean, I don't know, 20 some years ago, I wrote in a journal what I wanted, manifesting. And I broke it down into categories like, okay, category of, uh, family, friends, relationship, spiritual growth, where I wanted to live, financial. I included all the categories, and they all have come true beyond what I wrote at the time. More beautiful than I could even imagine it. And I have a very good imagination. So anything is possible. And when we are thwarted and frustrated in life, and we come across this pain and sorrow and brokenness, do not worry. That is the place when you go all the way to the bottom of that pain. That's the place where your divine is meeting you. It's waiting there for you in the brokenness, in the heartache, in the intense pain where you have no more trump cards, you have no more fixings, you have no more strategies to make yourself better. When you get to that place, the divine is right there and saying, hello, sweetie, I love you just the way you are. And I know you think you are broken, but I am here with you, pure love. Just relax into it because everything will eventually pass and you will learn huge lesson from this. And I did. The most painful parts in my life, I learned huge lessons. And at the time, I argued with the universe. I didn't want to have these experiences. I just about incinerated myself. And today I look back at it, I go, oh my gosh, this person that was part of that story, thank you, you set me free. I go, I celebrate them. They're my biggest friend. They looked like they really messed up at the time. And it turns out to be the biggest gift. We just never know. So let me share with you a poem that I love by Rumi. It's called It's Rigged. It is rigged. Everything in your favor. So there is nothing to worry about. Is there some position you want? Some office, some acclaim, some award, someone who loves you? Maybe two, maybe three, maybe four, all at once. Maybe a relationship with God. I know there is a gold mine in you. When you find it, the wonderment of earth's gifts you will lay aside as naturally as does a child a doll. But dear, how sweet you look to me kissing the unreal. But dear, how sweet you look to me kissing the unreal. I just love this poem. You know, it's like that divine is so infinitely loving and patient. And it would just guide us and through anything and wait forever for us to choose it. It's just there all the time, but we're choosing other things, and that's fine. It's our exploration. So divine is going, oh, my child looks so cute to me, exploring all these things that make him unhappy, and eventually they'll figure it out. They'll come and turn to me, and they'll get all the happiness they ever wanted and could ever use. And that's the place where I'm at. But it doesn't mean that you're always feeling good. Okay, so this is a misperception. We have many spiritual misconceptions. I could talk hours on that. But we're not always feeling good. I have days where I don't feel good, but I now, instead of distracting myself or running away from it or using strategies to cope with that, I now actually go into it, and I go, let me explore that. Let me look deeper. There is a gift there in there. There is something I want to explore in that. So I no longer make it wrong. If I don't feel good, I don't make it wrong. Like, I travel a lot right now again, and lots of it in the Bay Area. I live in the wilderness, and I drive in those cities. I get lost sometimes with two GPSs, and my nervous system gets all whacked out. And I sit in the middle of the surface street, not knowing which freeway of all these options, a dozen options of freeways to take to get back home. And I just let myself cry for a while. It's okay. I just go, oh, sweetheart, we're lost and you really don't like that. You really can't stand that. It makes you feel of being lost as a soul on earth, an orphan. So, and I just cry, and that's okay. I just love myself crying. I never used to be able to do that. So nothing is a problem. Nothing is evaluated. Oh, you're less spiritual. You're less than, because you're crying and you're having a nervous breakdown about being lost in a big city. It, no problem. Let the tears come, no problem. This little one, this is my little creature, or a rental car, this little one just wants to cry sometimes. And that's one of the release valves for me. It's all right. And I'm talking to all you guys out there. Let yourself cry. I know you've received some pretty mean conditioning about not crying. It's all wrong. You should let yourself cry if you feel like it. You got my permission. As a matter of fact, I'll cry with you. This world is very heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking what goes on here. So I've learned to allow my heart to break open instead of breaking down. I allow my heart to break open into things. I lean into things. So I've been recently with Karuna Mai. She's one of the saints. She's the one that healed me of stage fright. She's visiting right now in Sunnyvale, and I'm going to there tonight to be with her. She is amazing. She during COVID, she said she was nobody could see her. She was in meditation on behalf of humanity, on behalf of this earth. And she said, children, I am this world. Everything in this world I feel in every cell of my being. And I love this world so much. And I could feel the pain. She was able to, she is so big, so identified with that universal consciousness, that she is able, even in this little body, this little form expression, to hold the pain of the whole world in her being, and not break down, but break open. And I was so touched by that. It was amazing. So, like, wow. And so my prayer, you could write down a prayer, go up in front of her, and she just stroke your head and silently pray. And when someone like that prays for you, it's so, because she is one with divine will. There's no doubt, no resistance there. It's just that capacity is complete. Our capacity might be 10%, 100%, well, 90%, whatever it is. And our capacity changes to open to that much divine power. But she is always there. So when someone like that sets an intention and makes a prayer, it's just like it becomes real right away. So I felt that, and my prayer was, let me be more like you, increase my capacity to be able to be helpful. I now trust that life is taking care of me as long as I'm meant to be here. And when my time comes to go, I am so, open and happy to go on to the next assignment, wherever that is in this universe. So that's the relaxation. That level of trust is the relaxation. And it's interesting, the time has come to stop the talk, but I have many more things to share, which I have to wait for another time. But it's interesting. I make these notes, I prepare a lot, and then I never look at them. I, I, it was a totally different talk than what I actually prepared. It's like, how does that happen? It happens by being present. So you guys needed to hear something different. But anyway, I just so it is required sometimes that we walk through that valley of sorrow and death, seeming death. But it's not on the highest level, it's not real. It is an illusion. So I want to end with a quote that I actually came up with. One day it popped into my head, and if I can remember it. So the good news is it's only a false sense of self that is being dismantled in our journey. The bad news is it thinks it's real. And that's when we start to suffer. But suffering is optional, pain is not. But suffering is when the stories come in, and we can let those go. We can actually change the story to where it's always a win. No matter what we go through, it's a win. And it's for only one purpose, for us to grow. And a friend of mine says, we're going to be such badass spirits. We're going to be able to create universes when we're done, when we graduated from this world. And I'm going to hold on to that. We're all going to be so powerful, because this is a very hard school. This is a very hard realm. So good for you for being here. Good for you for taking it on. I celebrate you with all my heart and all my being. Blessings.